Welcome to the Hasn't Been 3 Days podcast with your hosts, Justin and BJ, where we talk about 3-day-old news, sports, whatever else we want to talk about. You, the MVP listener, you listen in, you laugh, you hate on our takes, but just don't let us know if you hate on our takes unless it's been 3 days. But I want to change that up tonight. If you don't like our takes, just tell us. So email us at the email box 3, the number 3, dayoldpodcast@gmail.com. Brought to you by Thelander Leadership Consulting, where everybody needs a little TLC. So we're back for another episode. Justin, how are you?
We're doing good. How's everybody doing? It's March Madness week.
It is the week of vasectomies.
Yes.
And the week of men leaving their families.
Men abandoning their families in town. Like, they literally stay in town most of the time. Or they go to Vegas. I don't know.
And some of them will have it at their house and kick their families out. Who knows?
Kick them out of the basement, at least.
Yeah, and what I do is I just bring my family in, and we do a huge thing. So this is the episode we talk all about the brackets, just like every other sports talk radio show in the business is doing. We're not like them.
We're going to be different.
We're going to be a little bit different. So you've got some updates. I've got some updates. And we also want to talk about one other thing before we get into the brackets tonight. So what's going on in your world, Justin?
Well, it's been a week of exciting kid news. This week, my daughter officially got the word that she made Standing Bear High School tennis team. Going to be a part of the varsity team. Yay! Hang on. And, hang on. We'll do this one right here. Hey, good job, Rabel.
Good job, Rabel.
Good job.
Congratulations.
And then Brenton, my son, he shot his best score in archery at the state tournament. And then their team won the bullseye in 3D for middle school. So their school and one of their teams got first place, so they qualified for what did I say? Regionals. Yay! So we're gonna give Brenton a clap on that. Good job, bud.
Good job, Brenton. Both of them, first year doing this, first time picking up the racket and the bow, respectively.
Yeah.
And knocking it out of the park, just like their good old dad and mom.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. There's a lot of schedules that are going to be, I haven't managed, high school schedules, and I put that all on my phone. Woozers, wowzers, woozers, wowzers.
Yeah, it's an everyday thing, yep.
So, we're lucky we're going to be able to do this podcast that night, just super late. No, not any different. But so that's exciting. We're waiting to hear back if Brenton actually shooting his second highest score could qualify him to go to regionals.
Cool.
We're waiting to find out. He wasn't on the team that won, but since their school won, and he was a top 25, or if he's listed as a top 24 scorer, he potentially could qualify. So we're just kind of waiting and see. We're not obviously counting anything before it happens, but that would get him to travel to Louisville, Kentucky. So
well, and you speak of Louisville. Louisville's how the locals say it. They kind of let it roll out their mouth. But I was listening to my podcast role model today, and the great Tony Kornheiser, Hall of Fame, Wall of Fame, Tony Kornheiser, La Cheeserie. I love Tony Kornheiser, and I love his radio show, and I love listening to his podcast. So
you love Lamp?
I do love Lamp.
Lava
Lamp. But he's talking. We're going to talk about him. I'm going to bring him up a little bit later too. I want our MVP listeners to do me a favor. If you're a cheesehead as well, and I don't mean Wisconsin or Green Bay, I mean La Cheeserie. If you're a little and you listen to the TK podcast, I want you to shout out 3-Day-Old Podcast to TK and see if we can't get some run on his podcast. But he says the proper way you should say it, we know you don't, but is Louisville, because it just sounds better.
Yeah, it's how it's spelled, actually.
It's how it's spelled, and it just sounds better than wool. So, but I thought he's not wrong. So anyway, another reason to look up to him. But awesome for Brenton and Brielle. That's really cool. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we're super excited. It's fun to watch them, you know, achieve these things, especially when it's especially tennis and archery. They're not things that we was on the docket of things that maybe we're going to do. So
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. So
that's really cool. Yeah.
pretty excited here. So what about you? What do you got going on?
Well, I mean, I really want to be careful because that's really awesome news, and I know we share about our kids. I just had lunch with one of my sons today, and he's getting ready for his first varsity meet in track and field this week. Big McMinnville Open, and they had their mini meet last week, and he ran his normal events, and then he got put in the 100-meter dash.
Okay.
And he's been a long distance runner most of his career. And I told him, I said, maybe your dad was wrong and maybe you should try sprinting and see what happens. Well, they put him in the 100 because they had 8 heats of the 100 for their high school.
Oh, geez.
And he'd never run the 100, so he didn't get put in one of the faster heats. So there's 8 heats. There was probably, I'm going to say, out of 8 heats, there was probably close to 40 kids running that race and the male version of it. And he finished with an overall time that was 6th fastest in his entire team.
Oh, geez.
And he's never run the race.
Yeah.
And then his 800 time, which is his race, was he's entering this track meet on Thursday as the top time entering the meet from McMinnville. So he's going in as the number 1 varsity 800-meter runner.
Wow.
For McMinnville this week. So I was pretty proud of him, and that's pretty cool. So I hope he's healthy. He looks strong. I told him last week, I said, you look like you're running strong for the first time in 2 years. And so it's pretty cool to watch him do his thing. So
yeah, that's awesome. No, that's awesome news. That you're not stepping on anything there. Like you said, we praise our kids and the things they do, and
yep.
Now they're internet famous.
Yeah. Well, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this. I know, but Ronnie is running in unified track this week at the same meet as Elliot's running in, and they're actually, I don't know if Elliot will run the 100 in this meet or not, but Ronnie is running the 100-meter
nice
race in this meet. So that'll be interesting to see how that all goes as well.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool though. That's awesome. That's awesome news to hear. I love hearing about that and love seeing how happy you are to, see your kids do all these different extra things, right? That we, put in front, give them opportunities to do and really strive at it. So.
Yep, they're doing a good job. So good job, all the kids. Awesome stuff going on. So that's great. So, well, you had an update for me.
I do have
not
an
a
update.
Show correction, but you had an update on a story we broke last week. So tell me what's up.
Well, yeah. So last week we did the little crime mystery conversation, and they just came out today, and they announced that the cause of death, unfortunately, was by suicide, and they stand behind it, saying that he had been in that position or in that tree or wherever it was. I mean, it's in the tree because it's in woods this whole time.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that's
I don't want to ask how he did it, but that is sad, and thankfully there's closure for the family, and that's what's important. But
it's just interesting,
deal.
Yeah, and the thing that with the mystery piece is like, he had his wallet and his phone and all of his keys and stuff with him that were found right by the body or near it or whatever, is like phones nowadays, you can track a phone pretty much any time. Sometimes when it's off, they even say when your phone's off, it's listening to you, right? Because it's really not off. That's why your batteries, you can't take it out of the back of your phone anymore because they're integrated in your phone, so it never turns off. You can never take the battery out. Not like in the movies, they take it apart and throw it 15 different places. So yeah, it's just another mystery, that not that the family needed closure on what happened, but they did come out and say that his body was there the whole time, and it's too bad that that's the route it ended, but that's the final take on that, I guess,
Okay.
from the sheriff's department, unfortunately. So
thank you for the update, and yeah, it is sad overall, but it is good to know that there is closure and there is something that is coming out of that. So that is good. So
yeah, I know that's not always fun to talk about and stuff, but we talked about it last week, so I just thought I'd give you a heads up. Not that you follow a lot of the Nebraska news anymore, so
I don't normally.
yeah, I know. Or the Lincoln news, anyways. So, but so yeah, Anyways, that's all I got. That's the only news I got for you for updates. So,
well, I sent you something this week. We're gonna switch gears a little bit, and I would just want to say we've talked a little bit. Your kids is sports, my kids is sports. That was not sports; it was an update. But we're gonna go back to sports, and
we talked football on this podcast.
Here you go, Nate. You can chime in on our sports takes this week. And I say that because my good friend Nathan Douglas Rabel the fourth texted me on the side after last week's episode and answered my questions. And I just want to say this in all seriousness, which is not normal for Nate and I's relationship. But Nate, I love you. I appreciate you. And we just had a good conversation, and I'm really glad that we're friends. He's a good guy, and so he was just trying to bend my chain to see if I listened to the whole episode, and there was nothing behind it except to check to see if I was listening.
So. He was double checking to make sure you actually listen to your own podcast when you're not on.
Yeah, so that was cool, and I commended him again just on how good of a job he did, and it was awesome. We got to have him on again. We needs to be a regular. He needs to be as we try to become like the Tony Kornheiser show. We need to have him on regularly, just to give us movie critic things or even to pick games with us. Whatever he wants to do, we need to make him a regular part of the show.
We could probably have him once a month to go over movies that come out or something, or at some point he's probably watched 90 movies in 1 month. So,
wow.
I don't know that. I mean, we might want to fact check that.
Yeah. So on the sports thing, and Nate will care about this too, because Nate and I, this is one thing that Nate and I have in common. We are huge baseball fans. Nate, and I don't know if he's still this way or not. We're very traditional baseball fans as well. We like the tradition. We like the old school. We're kind of old souls when it comes to baseball. But this week, the Kansas City Royals announced a new member of their Hall of Fame class, and they are putting in their Hall of Fame my favorite baseball player of all time, Alex Gordon. And so I was really cool. I was really glad to see that, and I shared this story last night with Heidi because to me, Alex Gordon, he made baseball for me. He took it to a whole nother level. I grew up as a Cubs fan, and until I went to Wrigley Field, and then I stopped being a Cubs fan. And it was something that Nate and I had in common, is that we were both Cubs fans, and so we'd watch the Cubs and we'd talk about the Cubs and all this stuff. And then I went to Wrigley Field, and then I came back and I hated the Cubs. My experience at Wrigley Field was not memorable, or it was memorable, but not for good reasons. And so I don't like the Cubs. And so I had to pick a new team, and I didn't really know what team to pick at the time, and I was kind of forced into it. I felt like there was pressure from Nate and other people that knew I was a baseball fan. Well, who are you going to pick? Who are you going to pick? And I picked the Dodgers, but I was like, I'm just not really tied to the Dodgers. And then Alex Gordon started his career, and I got to watch Alex Gordon in high school, in college, at the minor league level, and at the big league level. And when you get to watch a guy come all the way up like that is from a place where you're from, and you grow up together different ways, it's pretty cool. So congratulations to Alex Gordon, left fielder, Hall of Fame, Kansas City Royal, Alex Gordon. So I was pretty pumped to see that. So,
and come to think, he's such a good athlete, Alex Gordon is, that he actually came up as a third baseman. And
yeah, that's the story I told.
Yeah, he became this Hall of Famer because he wasn't like, he was having the slumps hard as a third baseman. And
well, here's the deal. Because yeah, you're right. I'm not going to argue that, but he was we call it a 2-tier third baseman.
Correct.
So if you're listening to the show and you listen to other sports commentary, maybe this will be a hot take. Maybe this is new and it'll get some notoriety. Maybe we can get some money out of this podcast. But
hopefully,
he's a 2-tier third baseman. So he came up through high school, through college, playing third base. And then he gets drafted by the Royals. He's supposed to be the next George Brett. He's supposed to be the next big thing for the Kansas City Royals. Kind of a local-ish kid in that Kansas City, Nebraska area. And in the minor leagues, he killed it. So I got to watch him in Wichita for the Wichita Wranglers, Double-A, and he came up through Double-A with Billy Butler and some of these guys that were on that team that went to the World Series later on.
Was it Moose on that team or not?
Moose wasn't there yet. He came later.
Yep. Okay.
But there was a few in that first wave of the World Series and Alex Gordon kind of led that crew. Well, Alex Gordon came up. He was a third baseman, and when you watched the team come out on the field, I'd go to Wichita Wrangler games, and I would go sit on the third base line to watch Alex Gordon. And when he came out onto the field, he was a man amongst boys in Double-A. He was a pro. And he did everything right. And I say 2-tier because in Double-A you're 1-tier, and I'm talking about the stands. So Correct. You get the stands. There's one level of seats in Double-A. Okay, there's not usually an upper deck. So he's a 1-tier player, killing it. Then the next season he goes up to the majors for spring training. So now he goes from a 1-tier stand to Kauffman, which is 3 tiers. Which is the big dog, the show.
Okay, yeah.
And in spring training, he struggles. They start him in the big leagues, and he struggles. He goes through the slumps, as you said. And then they decide, you know what? We're going to send you down. He goes down to Triple-A, kills it again. Because Triple-A is a 2-tier level. He's killing it. So that whole season, he's up and down, didn't know what to do. The next offseason, they talk to him behind the scenes. They tell him, we want you to change positions. He spends the whole season in Double-A in left field. He redoes and reinvents the training method to become an outfielder for the organization. And he works his butt off the entire year in the minor leagues after he'd already made it to the show in a new position, becomes a Gold Glove left fielder and makes it to the 3rd tier to the show and becomes a Gold Glover, becomes an All-Star, becomes a World Series champion. And he did it all because he couldn't quite get over the hump at a position, but instead of letting pride get in the way and his career ending, he said, I'll go work on it. I want to be in the big leagues. This is what it's going to take to get there. And he did it. Now, Alex Gordon was never a 300 hitter. He's never going to hit 40 home runs. He's not going to steal 30 bases for you. But you did not run on Alex Gordon in left field.
No way.
He led the MLBs in assists for like 7 straight years. and he redefined how to become an outfielder in the major leagues. They're still showing his training videos to new outfielders.
Well,
and
and even not being a big Royals fan, I watched local Royal. I got Royals on TV here. I'd watch because Alex Gordon was on it, and then as I got better, especially the World Series years, that team had some players on it with him.
Yeah.
And so a couple years that he played at third base, and then I needed to look this up for myself to fact check myself quick, but it said that he broke his thumb, and then that's when they decided to make this change in minor leagues and to the 2010-13 season.
Yep.
And they started really going after it. So.
I forgot about the injury, but the injury let them mask it.
Correct.
Because they didn't have to. So the organization treated him right too. They could have just been
Throw
like,
"Nope,
you're not George Brett. We're trading you to the Twins.
Get
away from here." And they didn't do it. They said, let's use this injury. Let's make it what it is. I forgot about the injury, but
Did Nate go with you to see Alex Gordon play at Wichita too? Because Nate was asking me about going to a game, seeing him at Wichita, and I don't remember going to see a Wranglers game with you, so I don't know if Nate made it down with you one time, or
he might have. I went to a lot because that's also when I started dating my ex-wife, and so we would go to, because they were cheap tickets, and I knew some of the players, and I knew Alex Gordon, and so I was like, I'm going to the Wranglers game. You can come if you want to. So he may have been there, because I know Nate. I think Nate came to Wichita one year when we went to the NBC Classic and stayed up for the all-night baseball too.
I think so. Well, fun fact about Alex Gordon is him and Nate were in the same high school class at Lincoln Southeast.
That's right.
And Alex Gordon and Jeff Christie, who was on that Nebraska team and currently catcher. They were so good, that was the reason Nate couldn't make the baseball team. Fun fact, Alex Gordon actually bullied Nate, and he didn't get to go. No, that's all joking. We're not bad mouthing Alex Gordon, but Nate didn't make the team because he didn't go out for it. But that's another reason. But me and Nate were joking about that when we were talking about Alex Gordon this week too, because I told him that we might be talking about that topic, to be honest with you, since that news came out. So
in the spirit, and we'll use this to segue because that's how it's done, Nate.
Jeez, here we go.
It's all good fun. Let's segue this to kind of the bracket kind of thing. So you weren't a huge Royal fan. You were older than us, so Alex Gordon was kind of younger than you and off your radar, but you still knew he was a local guy, obviously. But who are your top four, your final four all-time baseball players?
Ooh.
And I'm not talking skill level, like all-around best players. I'm saying who are Justin's four favorite baseball players of all time?
Ken Griffey Jr. right there at the top.
Yeah.
I had Ken Griffey Jr. baseball shoes back in the day when I played softball. Do you remember those shoes?
Yes.
Okay, I might actually still have those, to be honest with you, in my softball bag that probably hasn't been opened in 40 years.
So let me say this. When I play the show on the PlayStation, because you can customize everything. Brenton knows this. I always go put Ken Griffey's on my guy.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Those were the best baseball cleat of all time.
Ken Griffey Jr., wowzers. Man, I am just not, like you said, baseball-wise.
This should have been a Nate question, huh?
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, but I'm not going to, just because we're talking about it, I loved watching Alex Gordon play. Just the skill level alone, he would be a top 10 guy that are on my list to watch all the time. Just watching a guy play. Let me see here. Man, you are putting me on the spot because I have not. Man, I don't know, BJ. I'm not as deep in MLB like you guys are.
That's fine. Fine. Let me share mine then. And you brought up one that he's probably up there for me. and I'm just
Trying
going
to
totally
think.
favorite players. I would have Alex Gordon's my number one, just
Okay.
because of what I've just shared over the last
Yeah,
10
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
But I would put Ken Griffey on my top 4. He'd be in my final 4.
Okay.
I got to go to a Mariners game a couple years ago and in Seattle, and got to go see their little Hall of Fame museum area, their shop area, and Ken Griffey still is just a god in Seattle, and that's
Yeah.
kind of cool to see. But so I'd put Ken Griffey, Alex Gordon there. I would put Kerry Wood, pitcher for the Cubs. I know he was a Cub, but when he threw his 20 strikeout game, I
I watched
remember.
that game.
Yeah, I
I
remember
remember
like
watching it.
texting or talking to Nate afterwards. It was like that was a crazy game watching that game. But
I'm going to interrupt real quick. I like Freddie Freeman. Like
okay.
his character, like I like him just as a character, and he's fun to watch. Maybe it's these left-handed batters that I like.
Yeah.
You know, they have like these nice smooth swings. Like I've just but when Freddie was a Brave, you know, I'm a semi-casual Brave watcher.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the Smoltz, Glavins, and Maddixes at the time. That was fun watching that. So, I don't know. I mean, sorry to interrupt you on that. I just had that thought go through my brain. So
that's fine. So for my fourth one, I got to go back to. I'm gonna go like 4 ABC because there's different reasons why. When we were younger, my parents would take us to Royals games on vacation. We'd get tickets from my aunt and uncle, and they were good seats. And I remember going to one game, and I'm not gonna. We went and saw Seattle. I got to see Ken Griffey play in Kansas City. We went to a game against the Cleveland Indians. I remember this vividly. Jim Thome was there.
Yeah,
Albert
Jim
Bell,
Thome.
Manny
Albert
Ramirez.
Bell,
yeah,
that was a stacked team.
Yeah, Alberto Alomar, Sandy Alomar behind the plate. I mean, we could go on and on. But we went to that game, and it was a pitcher's duel, and it finished 2-0. And Albert Bell, right fielder for the Indians, home run hitter, hit 2 home runs, and the Indians beat the Royals 2-0. And we ended up leaving early, but I looked out into the fountains when you could still see the fountains in the outfield. Yeah. And I said to my dad, Dad, I think his home run ball is still floating in the fountain out there. He's like, no, there's no way. There's no way. Well, we get in the car and we're going back to my aunt and uncle's, and on the radio, we're listening to the post game. And sure enough, on the post game, they're saying, Albert Bell's just taunting us as his home run ball is still floating in the fountain. And I'm like, I told you it was there.
Yeah, I could have jumped in there and got it.
So, but that Cleveland, I'm going to say not Albert Bell, but the one I would go with. We also saw the White Sox play there, and I saw Frank Thomas hit a home run. So I'm going to go with my fourth one being Frank Thomas because of your Freddie Freeman. I like his character. I like the way he was just kind of a goofball.
Yeah,
and his swing, the way he'd kick his back foot and his follow through, it was kind of weird and finicky, but Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt, was fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What about?
Oh, hold on. Oh. Hold that thought, because I'd be remiss. Nate will kill me if I don't say this.
Oh, jeez.
I believe Nate was I could be wrong. I believe Nate was a Mark Grace fan.
Yeah.
But my favorite Cub was Ryan Sandberg. And I know he named his son
middle name Ryan
after Ryan Sandberg. And I wore 23, not for Michael Jordan when I played baseball. I wore it for Ryan Sandberg.
Isn't that just cute?
Yeah. I played the same position in baseball and all the things. So, yeah.
My dad would probably say back in the day, I used to mimic George Brett a lot. And so, like, I don't remember. I mean, I was so young, at that point, it wasn't memorable. But my dad would tell stories about me, the pine tar game.
When you'd get mad and go.
Go after somebody, yeah.
Crazy on somebody.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But, actually another player I liked before, because he was on the Mariners too, was Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Like him and Griffey together, like.
Or that season of time when it was A-Rod, Nomar Garciaparra, and Derek Jeter, all three shortstops.
Yep.
in the
before.
AL were crazy good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was, I mean, those are memorable, but like, top 4 guys, like that
it's
doesn't,
tough.
to
Yeah,
me,
it's tough.
it's just like, I can remember certain little things. I mean, no one can complain about Tony Gwynn. Can anybody complain about
No,
Tony Gwynn?
Tony Gwynn,
Like,
Cal Ripken. Yeah,
yeah,
no,
like those are like Tony Gwynn. I literally read a stat about this week. Is like there's guys who strike over 200 times they're striking out 200 times a season, and Tony Gwynn for his whole career had like 188
yeah,
strikeouts, something stupid like that.
yeah.
And I was like, oh
he's
my
gonna get
god.
brought up again as we pick our brackets tonight too. So yeah.
So, anyways, but sorry, I've got to steal your thunder now that everything's
No.
kind of coming back to me. So
No, that's good. Those are good. So here's the thing: like I play video games with my kids, and my son is a huge NBA fan, and so we'll get into a season where we're doing like a fantasy draft of players. And in the NBA, where there's less players and stuff, it's like we both get tired after about 7 guys. It's like we don't want to pick anymore because we just don't care. And with baseball, when I get into the show, I could pick the whole roster if we get to choose from all of the old players too. I can sit there and pick 47 players and not bat an eye because I'll be going through the list of like, this guy's 78 overall, and Elliot's like, what do you know about this guy? I'm like, this guy did this, this, and this, and I'm like, he goes, how do you even know that?
But you know where it gets you in trouble though is like there's so many good outfielders that you're just like, my quote unquote third string outfielder is like, you're like, well, these guys are never going to play.
And I like a guy who can steal bases and is fast. So like the Kenny Loftons and the Ricky Hendersons and those kind of guys. But then you got your Mike Trouts and you got your Alex Gordons, and it's just, it's a mess. We haven't even mentioned Barry Bonds or, those kind of guys.
That's steroids.
Well, I mean, still,
I'm just joking.
That's the thing. Like
hitting a ball, no matter what you're on, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. And it's like Pete Rose. I mean, Pete Rose had all these hits, and they banned him for baseball for gambling, and now we got gambling all over the entire sports world. And the guy almost had 5,000 hits, and we're not even going to put him in the Hall of Fame. And it's like Barry Bonds.
Yeah, he's just switch hitters. That makes it even better.
Pete Rose?
I thought he batted both sides.
He might have at some point, but he was a lefty most of his career.
Okay.
So, Charlie Hustle. But anyway, we need to get to brackets. But
we can just talk baseball all night.
Yeah, thanks for letting me go off on Alex Gordon.
Let's talk about Robin Yount. What do you know about Robin Yount?
Yount.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
But anyways, that's cool. It is a fun story. It's a fun local story. Like one other connection, like Alex Gordon's mom was a nurse for Brian, and Becky's told me stories about working with her and talking about, her, Alex Gordon, back in the day, like, before he became big. And it's just cool, especially a local guy. Local to Lincoln, we all kind of had a semi-connection to it, and like I said, my brother went to high school with him. They were in the same. I remember what the joke was that Alex Gordon bullied my brother so bad that my brother ended up just going to homeschool because that's how bad it got. That's the joke. No, just joking. Alex is a good guy. Don't take that the wrong way.
Right.
So. All right. Let's talk sports some more. This is the sports episode, people. Brought to you by Thelander. Learning, I don't remember what it was. I already screwed it up. Well, we tried.
Brought to you by Thelander Leadership Consulting. Let us handle your books while you handle your business.
Well, we're going to do something fun tonight. It is March Madness week. We know that most people who have a semi-connection to any kind of sports or loved one that watches games, you're being asked to do a bracket. Like, you're asking people to do it. Your family's doing an internal one. You told me about how you're finishing up your family one. Your mixed family now, right, you're like 50 people deep. I don't know how big your house is anymore, but whatever. So, and it'll be fun when we're around. We'll bring our brackets and we'll compare what we got when we're together, right?
Yeah, it'll be good.
So we're gonna do bracket picking tonight, and me and BJ are gonna have to agree because this is the official podcast pick, and I think we're gonna try to get through the normal bracket, and then we're gonna try to do the NIT, and then we're gonna do the Crown tournament. Hold your horses, people.
Let's do it. Let's get right into it. I love, like I said, I love my role model, Tony Kornheiser. When he has people on doing this, he asks them, and this is a question as we get started into this. We're going to start with let's not start with the regular one. Let's buzz through these older ones first. What do you think about that?
The other ones, the smaller ones? Yeah, let's do that.
The Crown and the NIT is what we're going to do, and then we're going to do the men's. We're not doing the women. Sorry. It's not that we don't love women. We do love women. We love women more than we love Duke. But here we wanted to just pick this and have fun with it. So let's go over to the Crown one, Justin.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's run through this. First round starts next weekend. Looks like Boise State, George Washington, first game up.
Well, Boise State originally was on the bracket to get into the actual tournament. They dropped down all the way to the NIT. I don't know. Let's go Boise State.
They're not even in the NIT. This is the Crown tournament.
No, that's what I'm saying. They dropped all the way down. That's what I'm saying. So
I agree with you. I think Boise State will take care of the former president. So that's good.
Yeah, that's how we picked these.
Yeah, we got Utah and Butler. We got a connection to Butler from back in the day.
Oh, we do. I forget about this.
Yeah, Barry Collier, the former Nebraska head basketball coach, brought a guy. He was at Butler, which is in Indiana, and he brought a guy on his staff that came to our church for a long time. Right. And Mike Broughton was an assistant coach at Nebraska for a few years, and then he did some color commentary on the radio for him, and then he went and coached Southern Nazarene University into two. I believe at the time they were NCAA Division II tournaments and got them there, and he did some great work there before he finally retired.
Yeah,
but I'm going to say we got some ties to Butler. We got to
go with Butler. I mean, look, I agree with you. Let's go Butler on that. If anybody was picking Utah, the Utes versus Bulldogs, I think Bulldogs win every time. So
yeah, for sure.
But so now we have
Georgetown.
Oh yeah, Georgetown, Washington State. It was confusing.
We got a Hoya. We got another dog versus Washington State
Cougars.
So we got cats and dogs here.
Oh, let's go. I mean, you can't say wrong to a cougar, right? like we can't say. I don't know. I made you laugh. We're going with the cougar.
All right, we're going Wazoo here.
Unless it's a Pac Northwest school.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
If it was me picking personally, I probably wouldn't, but you made me laugh, so we'll go.
Yeah, we're good. And I'm going to make you laugh again because we're going to pick Nebraska and Arizona State. So we're going to make you laugh there again. So we're going to do that one. That's an automatic.
Is Fred Hoiberg done yet?
No.
I saw a rumor that he was gone.
No. He got a contract extension last year, so it'd be stupid to throw away money on this. So.
All right. So, Nebraska, USC, Tulane. We want the wave or the Trojan? Here, let's make this biblical.
Okay.
Let's make this biblical.
Oh, geez, here we go.
I do like USC normally, but we got to make this biblical because the green wave would take over the Egyptian soldier, the Trojan soldier. So we got to go green wave here.
Even if they were in that horse, right?
Yeah, because the horse can't. Well, they can swim, but you wouldn't want that.
No, I think the wood would deteriorate. Because I don't think it was the right wood.
Yeah, so Tulane.
Yeah, Tulane.
Okay,
so Nova in Colorado. So what is a Nova? What is Villanova's? What are they?
Wildcats.
Oh, yeah, Wildcats versus the Pluffs.
Buffalo.
The Pluffs.
Yeah, this one we're not going to agree on. So what's the podcast going to say?
I mean, we can go to Colorado. I can go with that.
Colorado. I like that.
Colorado. Okay. We'll go. Nate used to say that all the time.
Are we trying to pick winners or just cool storylines?
I don't know enough about these guys to even.
Okay, then Colorado it is.
Well, sometimes this is how people pick, right?
You're right.
They get into something, they pick something. So now we're gonna get into. Yep. Okay. So BJ already typed it in. Oregon State already advances against Central Florida. So Knights versus the Beavers.
Well, and you got to figure we don't like Scott Frost, so we got to just say I know this is not this is basketball, not football, but
no, he still ruined a university.
Yeah, so Oregon State all the way. Go Beeve.
Ooh. Okay, so now we have Cincinnati and DePaul. Are we doing biblical again?
Well, the DePaul Demons, right? Deacons.
Demon. I think so.
Or the Blue Devils.
Blue Devils. We're really good at this.
Cincinnati Bearcats.
They're the Blue Demons.
Blue Demons, yeah.
You got them all wrong.
But Cincinnati is, our competition out there with the Kelsey brothers and their podcast.
Bring it on. Let's go. Cincinnati's got to win because Nebraska's going to play them.
All right, Cincinnati, here we go.
Oh, I guess we're putting them all the way through.
All right. Then we go back to the top. We got Boise State Butler.
Ooh, man, are we gonna? Let's go Boise State.
Boise State. Okay.
What do you think?
I can get behind that. My daughter's going to Boise for school, so let's go there.
Yeah, that works.
And we got to go Nebraska. We don't like Wazoo past Nebraska there.
Yeah, let's go Nebraska there.
Okay. So then that's going to be a good football matchup too there. Boise State, Nebraska.
Yeah, especially when Nebraska puts in red turf. Just like Boise's blue turf, right?
Yeah. So Colorado and the Green Wave. So
Green Wave. I mean, the Wave's always going to take out a Buffalo, right?
That's true. They probably can't.
I mean, really, they're a Bison because their logo's wrong, but whatever.
This one's hard. I know we said Cincinnati, Nebraska, but
no, Oregon State and Cincinnati, huh? Man, you know what? I'm gonna visit Corvallis when I'm there. The plan is to visit Corvallis. I think that's just snowman. We're going Oregon State.
Okay.
And your local connection with your coworker is bringing you all back, and you love that campus. There's all those things that are working out. So
yep. So here we go. We got Boise State, Nebraska. Let's pick, if this was a football game, who would win?
Oh, jeez. Well, Boise State would win right now, I think.
No, their running back's gone.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean playing right now? Well, I'm a Nebraska fan, so they're going to win by 10.
They're going to win by 10. There we go. Good by 10. Go Fred Hoiberg.
Yep.
All right. So then we got to go the damn Beavers. Hey, this could be. You need to pull this up while we're talking about this.
What?
If we're going to pick Oregon State here just for S&Gs.
Okay.
Okay. So Oregon State, Nebraska in the Crown Championship game or semifinals. Okay. Semifinals? What am I missing?
No, okay. You're not missing anything.
Okay. So in the finals, we got Nebraska versus Oregon State.
Yep.
It could be taking place on April 6th. When does Nebraska play Oregon State in baseball?
It seems like it's right around that. Hang on, I'll look it up here real quick. Are you saying that they might be playing at the same time?
They might be playing at the same time.
Let's see here. Baseball schedule for Nebraska. Let's do this. They play Oregon State. This is good radio. March 28th, 29th, and 30th. The weekend that I'm actually visiting you.
But they're not here. They're in Lincoln.
They're in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yep. So not going to be there.
All right. Well, then we're going to go baseball teams here for this basketball game.
Oh, jeez.
We got Nebraska baseball, which is a decent.
Not right now.
No, but Oregon State is top 5, I think, in one poll. So.
Yeah, well, if you're going to do that, then I guess it's Oregon State.
Well, is that what we're agreeing on? I mean,
I can go with that. It just would be fitting that Nebraska fans would see Nebraska win a crown tournament, and then those like big fans would be like, "Hey, we won a tournament!"
Hey, let's do that. Let's go Nebraska.
Okay, then. All right, we're doing Nebraska. I can get behind that.
And it's basketball.
It would just be funny.
I think Hoiberg could get them up for a championship game like that. I think that would be.
And this is a quick weekend. It's literally like March 31st through April 6th. It's like a one solid week-long tournament that they're doing. So it's not spread out. So it's really late. It's really late. It's March 31st through April 6th. It's like a weird
I'm gonna be busy some of that, so
Yeah.
I won't be able to
I'll
check
just-
in. But we're gonna go.
I'll text you.
We're gonna go Nebraska to win the crown. Let's go to
Sounds good.
Let's jump over to the NIT. This is the not in tournament.
Not in the tournament. Yes.
Yes. Holy smokes!
Yeah, this one. I think you should be able to follow it.
Yeah, we'll follow it. Looks like it's already started.
Yeah, so there are teams that are already won. So we're just gonna bypass those and we'll move on to the next ones because those games started today, which is fine. And so the first one we're going to talk about is Southern Methodist versus Northern Iowa. Mustangs versus Northern.
Nope.
What do you mean?
Nope. It's
Southern Methodist.
I know, but
Mustangs.
we don't need to go mascots. We need to go religion here. So
religion.
We're going to go Methodist versus Quakers.
Quakers versus
or Methodist versus Amish.
Ooh, man. One of them builds better buildings. I mean, I'm gonna go SMU, but I don't know if you agree. Got a little Methodist background in us, don't we?
Yeah, let's go SMU.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably putting that on the wrong line.
Yep, it's okay.
Okay.
I think that's where the score would go if you're keeping track.
I got you. Oklahoma State, Wichita State.
Well, you got fond memories of Wichita and the Shockers, right?
And I also have fond memories of Oklahoma State.
You do?
Yeah, I used to root for him when I lived there.
Oh, yeah. I was thrown off by that one picture you sent me that one time you were in Oklahoma stuff, so that threw me off. I forgot that you adopted Oklahoma State when you were there.
But I'm going to say woo shock.
Yeah, I'll go with Shockers on that.
All right, we're going Wichita State there. Sorry,
You're eating ice cream, I think.
I'm choking down a chocolate milkshake.
Yeah. Does it bring all the boys to the yard? Just you? It just brought you to the yard?
Just
yeah, so
right. Moving right along.
Yeah, this other tournament's gonna be really long. We're never gonna get through it, but we're gonna do what we can.
Let's do these next three really quick first. We're both gonna say the same answer at the same time. Ready?
Okay, ready?
North Texas Furman on the count of three. 1, 2, 3. North
Furman.
Texas.
Wow,
perfect.
Whatever.
We're going Furman.
Okay, Arkansas State or St. Louis?
Luis.
1, 2, 3. St. Louis.
Arkansas State.
No, we're not good at this at all. Oh, man, we should probably have somebody better pick this. Let's go Arkansas State. I can get behind that.
Okay. That I interviewed at a church that was in that same town.
True stories.
All right, next one. Dayton, Florida Atlantic. 3, 2, 1. Dayton. I go to church in Dayton right now, so.
Oh, sheesh, look at that. And you're dating someone you're going to marry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Middle Tennessee, Chattanooga. 3, 2, 1. Chattanooga. This is
good radio, by the way.
It is, yeah. George Mason or Samford. 3, 2, Samford. Bradley or North Alabama. Bradley.
Yeah, go Bradley.
Okay. So, we got a whole nother section here.
Yeah, there's a lot here, by the way.
All right. So then we're going to go down to San Francisco or the Utah Valley. You got to go San Fran, don't we?
Yeah, the San Francisco treat, right? Wasn't that an old commercial back in the day?
Well, then let's go all California and pick San Jose State then.
Well, San Jose State, I'm pretty sure 10 Miles is there.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I'm pretty sure he's still there. Isn't San Jose State the Spartans?
Yeah.
I think he's still the head coach there.
Well, let's stay in the same state. Stanford or Cal State?
Cal State.
Cal State Northridge. They're a smart school, not a basketball school, but okay.
Kent State,
because they already won.
Yeah, we did this on the podcast on the wrong day.
And then we're going to stay in the same state again, UC Irvine?
UC Irvine, yeah.
It's going to be the all-California tournament.
That sounds good.
Irvine, if I could spell right. And then we
Yeah.
got Jacksonville State one.
Yep. Jack State.
Okay.
And then we have Santa Clara and
or Riverside. So another 2 California teams.
let's go Santa Clara.
Because it sounds like Santa Claus.
Correct. And
That's what
this
I'm doing.
is like
That's the
kind
name
of like
of the
Christmas.
episode.
Santa
That's
Claus.
the name. Yep, it's that one where Santa Claus wins the tournament.
Oh, that's there.
St. Joseph UAB. I like the
UAB.
dragon. Yeah, UAB here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go up. Let's go back up from where we started. So UAB Santa Clara.
Yep. And that would be UAB.
Really? Santa Claus is out?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I guess because Santa Claus is going to win. We already named the episode, so
That's fine. We can go with
UAB. I like UAB.
UAB.
Yeah.
Need to get it off the score there. Jacksonville State or UC Irvine?
Jacksonville State.
I'm in the wrong place here.
It's okay. Go over to the next.
This one?
Yeah, UAB there, and then up. Yep.
And what are we doing? UC Irvine?
I said Jack State, but
Jack State?
Yeah, let's do Jack State.
All right. Then we got Kent State or Cal State Northridge. We going Smart Kids or Hicks?
Wowzer. Well, when you put it that way,
I'm going Kent State. Yeah,
Kent State. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll let you decide which is which.
Yeah.
San Francisco or San Jose?
10 miles is at San Jose State. Let's go 10 miles with San Jose State.
Let's do it. Samford or Bradley? These are 2 really bad middle names.
Yeah. If you're thinking about naming your kids because you listened to our episode,
or you named your kid Sam Bradford, you kind of put it all together.
True. Let's go Bradley.
Because it kind of sounds like Brady, and we used to call him Bradley because he's married to Carolee, and so his married name is Bradley. So
Yeah.
it kind of sounds like Bradley.
Yeah, that's where we should go with this.
We got to go Dayton on this one because that's where I'm getting married, so we got to go with it.
So then Dayton wins the next matchup against Bradley.
So we're going to go Dayton against Bradley winning.
Yeah, I think that goes down here to the Dallas Regional at the bottom.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Oh, we forgot one.
Dayton.
Hey, we forgot one.
What did we forget?
Go scroll up.
Oh.
Yeah. We got to do Arkansas State Furman.
Where'd that go?
It's up. Scroll.
Oh, my bad.
It's okay. Real quick.
Arkansas State. Arkansas State?
Yeah, because you were going to maybe interviewed there.
Wooshock?
Wooshock.
All right. So then we got Wooshock or Arkansas State?
Wooshock.
Wooshock versus Dayton. We don't have to pick that one yet. Oh, we did? Okay. We're going Dayton.
Dayton.
Okay. And then you got the Dayton region. They're not even in their own region?
No, they are.
I'm in the wrong.
Yep, you put it in the wrong one.
Oh, Dayton.
Move Dayton down to Dayton region.
Sorry.
Irvine region. It's okay. Irvine region is Jackson State and UAB. I think UAB.
UAB, and we're still picking Wichita State there then? Against UAB?
Yeah, the San Francisco region, we need San Jose State or Kent State.
I would go with the Spartans.
I would agree with you.
So then we got San Jose State versus Dayton.
San Jose State.
And we got San Jose State versus Wichita State for the championship.
There we go. We won't get scores because it's not going to be that close for us to win anything.
I'm just going to put it down here because I don't know where to put it.
That's fine.
All right. So who are we picking? Your NIT not in the tournament champion for the 3-day-old podcast is
San Jose State.
San Jose State. Go Tim Miles.
Only because Tim Miles is hilarious on the radio still. He still calls into Nebraska radio shows. It's hilarious. It's so awesome.
All right, let's see if we can get to the real one and do it in under an hour.
Well, this one, I don't know if you want to do it this or if you have a bracket with you, whatever works best for you, because this one's so much bigger than everything else. We can get through this quick. But whatever works for you, you do what you do.
What do you mean?
I don't know if it's easier for you to fill it out on a piece of paper versus using the spreadsheet that we're using. So
I can do it on a piece of paper so I can keep track of it for when we're here.
Yeah.
I might need you to bring me an extra bracket when you come next week.
Okay, I can do that. They don't have printers in Oregon, but I understand.
I won't be near one.
Okay, yeah, I know. I understand. I just told you I understood.
All right, let's start. let's do this the TK way.
Okay. What are we doing?
We're starting in the South. Do we have any upsets?
In the South?
In the South, do we have any upsets?
Let's do. Maybe New Mexico over Marquette?
Oh, I don't like that one.
Wait.
I might
Is that
do
the South?
Creighton over Louisville.
Well, 8-9, is that really I know numbers are an upset, but like I consider an 8-9 just kind of like a wash. Both of them can be. Louisville, actually, okay, I can go with Creighton over Louisville because Louisville is way seated incorrectly.
All right, so we got Creighton there, and you're saying New Mexico?
New Mexico over Marquette. I could see that.
Okay, so the rest is chalk in the South?
Let's see here. Auburn, Michigan, yeah, A&M over Yale, Ole Miss.
Okay.
I don't know, Ole Miss and
UNC.
Yeah, North Carolina. I mean, I don't know, BJ. Do you think North Carolina could beat an 11 seed beating Ole Miss? I mean, I don't want to ruin this for anybody, but they're winning right now, pretty big. North Carolina.
They could, but I just don't see it happening.
Okay, I can get behind it.
Okay. In the West, do we have any upsets?
West, let's see here. Let's see, 8-9 game is Oklahoma.
I could go Drake on an upset.
I can get behind that.
And
I can get behind.
It's a 7-10. The KU Arkansas game is.
I could see Arkansas being KU. They haven't been that impressive this year.
No, they haven't. But Kansas versus Arkansas is a really cool thing to say.
Yeah, I could go with that upset, and then I think it's chalk across the board. Even though I'd really like to see Omaha beat St. John's.
Well, do you want that to be the podcast pick upset special?
We could do an upset special with Omaha. I'd like to see a trash can destroyed.
Okay, let's do that. So then we got chalk at Florida. We got UConn, Oklahoma, though. Who do you got there?
Probably UConn. I don't think Oklahoma should have been in the tournament, to be honest with you.
And then this is one I picked, but the podcast can say different. Memphis, Colorado State. You got chalk for Maryland, Grand Canyon, chalk for Texas Tech. So you want Memphis?
Let's go Memphis.
Okay.
You pick Drake there.
So then we'll go back up to the South. We got Auburn, Creighton. Who we got?
Auburn, Creighton. Let's Auburn. I think Auburn. Yeah, Auburn. What
Michigan or A&M?
I think Michigan's going to stay on a hot streak right now.
Okay, so
what
then
do you think? You on board?
I don't like Michigan, but I'm good with it because I don't like A&M either.
Yeah, A&M beat Nebraska last year. And
I think this is where Iowa State gets beat though because their players hurt.
Yeah, Iowa State gets beat by Ole Miss.
Yep, and then Michigan State.
Yep.
Okay, so then we got Auburn, Michigan. I don't like Michigan.
Okay, no, I'm good. I'm good after this point. Auburn staying on.
Michigan State or Mississippi?
Well, my thought process about Michigan State, they're always a good tournament team, so I think we're going Michigan State here.
And you want Auburn in the Final Four? Or do we want Auburn in the Final Four?
I have Auburn as one of my 7 teams that could be in the Final Four.
All right, so Auburn it is. First Final Four team. Let's go down to the West. Florida, UConn. I like the character of Hurley, but I think Florida's a wrecking this year.
Florida is one of my teams, like everybody else. It's kind of they rate right up there in offensive, defensive, ratings. One of 7 teams that I'm following, 7 to 9 teams. So
we
I
got
picked Florida there. Yeah.
Memphis or Maryland?
Memphis or Maryland.
And then Drake or Texas Tech. This could be the upset right here.
I think we go Drake.
Drake could be the Cinderella this year, I think. Then we got Arkansas and Calipari versus UNO. Do we keep the trash can going, or do we let Calipari win?
Arkansas is going to win this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we got Florida, Maryland. I got to say Florida. I got to put my executive order there.
Florida's on my list, so we're good there.
Does Drake beat Arkansas?
No.
So we got Arkansas versus Florida.
Florida
in the Final Four. So we got chalk so far on the left side. We got in the East, do we have any upsets, as the TK salute says?
East upsets. No. Maybe Vanderbilt over St. Mary's?
That's one that I would go with there, and I would also consider and put out there that Baylor beats Mississippi State.
Okay, I can get behind that. 8-9 coin flip. So
we got Duke, then we got Oregon, then we got Arizona, then we got BYU, then we got Wisconsin. That's one that could be scary. I think the Grizzlies could win that game.
Okay.
Alabama. So then in the second round in the East, we got Duke and Baylor. Unless Cooper Flag gets hurt, I got to go Duke here.
Yeah, I'm with you on Duke.
Oregon or Arizona?
Arizona.
BYU or Wisconsin?
BYU.
Okay.
Ooh. What were you going to say?
Well, if I'm thinking the Grizzlies could do it, then I wouldn't think BYU would be there. Or, I mean, Wisconsin would be there.
So
BYU. Yeah. Vandy, Alabama. Got to be Alabama.
Alabama, yeah.
And then Duke, Arizona.
Well, Duke and Arizona are one of those, I mean.
But it's not Lute Olson and Coach K anymore.
No. I mean, the number one player, if he's playing, I say you go Duke. I hate going to chalk, but.
I know. BYU, Alabama. I don't think the Mormons have what it takes to keep going.
No, Alabama.
Alabama, Duke.
Duke.
I love Duke. All right, we got Houston or Southern Illinois.
Any upsets here?
Do you want the Hachu or the 420 mascot?
The which one? The Hachu or 420 mascot?
McNeese.
Or
God bless you.
Yeah, McNeese. I
don't think I wouldn't have any.
I don't have any upsets. I don't have anything here.
Okay, so we got Houston, we got Gonzaga, we got Clemson, we got Purdue.
Actually, you know what? What about Utah State over UCLA?
I could get behind that for the podcast.
Okay, let's do that.
And so we got Utah State, and then we got Tennessee. So then we go Houston, Gonzaga.
Houston.
Clemson, Purdue.
Clemson.
Can we go Purdue there?
You can go Purdue there.
Give me Big Ten right there. Illinois, Kentucky. I think that's got to be Kentucky because Illinois won't even be there.
Yeah. Let's go Kentucky.
And Utah State, did their Cinderella run end?
Well...
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does.
Houston, Purdue.
Houston, Purdue.
Gotta go
Houston.
Houston, yeah. Kentucky, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And Tennessee, Houston.
I'm gonna go Houston.
We got chalk. We got 4
We get chalked the whole way.
ones in the Final Four, which I did hear an expert today on Tony Kornheiser say that this could be one of the first years that all 4s go.
So I had on my short list Duke, Auburn, Houston, Florida, Iowa State, Clemson, and Arizona, like my teams, based off of some rankings that I think the only outlier was UConn of 2014, that the Ken Palm rating for defense and offensive numbers, these were the teams that were there. I guess KU is supposedly on that list, but they're not going to make it that far either. So I kind of narrowed down to those 7 teams. But
and if Cooper Flagg's playing, it's Duke all the way. It just doesn't matter.
Yeah,
he's so good. He's a freaking gold medalist already.
Yeah.
So, okay, we got Final Four. We got Auburn versus Florida. We got Bruce Pearl versus Florida. We got Bruce Pearl, my team will be under sanctions in 2 years, versus Florida, who scores 100 points a game.
Yeah.
Who's the podcast taking here?
I think we're going Florida.
Okay, Florida. We're sunshining. Duke, Houston. I love Duke.
Well, I mean, we keep on saying Duke has the best player, right? So,
but I think Houston is the best team. I think they're the best team in the sport right now, but I think Duke is definitely the best player for sure.
But it's a team game, right?
It is, but in this stage, does your team have what it takes to get past a number 1 overall pick?
Sometimes you need those extra team players to get you past it. I think we go team. I think we should go Houston.
All right. Houston versus Florida. We got Sunshine versus Sunshine. The Gators versus the Cougars. We got a coach in Calvin Sampson for Houston who's never won a title, but he's probably one of the coaches that's won the most games without winning a title.
Versus Billy Donovan, right? Billy Donovan still at Florida. Just joking.
That's who I thought was there, actually. So.
Oh no, you didn't. I don't believe that. I think Calvin. Let's get Calvin his first win. And it's at home, like the Final Four's in San Antonio. It's right down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there it is, podcasters.
There's your 3-day-old podcast champion is the Houston Cougars.
Not to be, let's not forget to mention San Jose State, the NIT, and Nebraska in the crown.
Nebraska.
Wow.
San Jose State and Houston. Which storyline gets the most run? I think Calvin Sampson has to get the most stories, but I think if all 3 of those teams win, 2 of them being former and current Huskers, that's crazy. It's not
no, it'd be hilarious though. I'm gonna root for it. I'm rooting for chaos.
Yeah, that would be fun.
All right. So. Well, hopefully we didn't lose too many of our fellow listeners who don't like sports, but I know that was a struggle. Thanks for doing it with us. Maybe you can use our picks and see how well you do against us. If you want to email us your bracket, a picture of it,
yep.
And we can see if we can do a challenge. I don't know if I have any more Runza kids meal coupons or Culvers, but maybe we can find you some.
Well, I'll make an executive decision, and if somebody sends us a bracket and beats us, and there's more than 2 people in the bracket pool, then I'll send out a gift card.
Oh, we can do a gift card. I can get behind a gift card.
Courtesy of Thelander Leadership Consulting, where everybody needs a little TLC and maybe a little Runza.
Oh, Runza gift cards. This sounds great. I know a guy.
So anyway,
all right.
let's wrap this up. We're a little bit over time, but it's been fun. What do you got going on the next couple days?
Man, nothing besides taking shelter for the blizzard we're gonna have tonight, because it's 72 degree or 70, almost 80 degrees today, and then tomorrow it's supposed to be 20 degrees with a blizzard.
Wow.
That's what we're doing in Lincoln. And then Thursday and Friday I will be sitting at the sports bar watching basketball, which will probably continue into Saturday and Sunday with church, and trying to think if there's anything else going on. Well, we're packing for this trip that we're going to be doing, so I'm getting ready for that. That's coming up. So
yeah, that'll be good.
What about you? What you got going on?
Got some stuff going on tomorrow with family, and then track meet Thursday, and some busy day at work Thursday as well, into the weekend with the kids, and so good days ahead. Lots going on, getting ready for next week, so it's going to be good.
Yep. No, that sounds awesome. Oh, I forgot to say that it will be. Also, I forgot. It is Nate Rabel and my brother-in-law Alex's birthday on the 21st. Happy March Madness. Hopefully, I'll remember to text you happy birthday.
That would be Friday?
Friday the 21st.
Friday the 21st, the big birthday day. Cool.
For Nate. Yep, everybody send him happy birthday messages. Everybody poke him on Facebook. Does anybody remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, go do that. Maybe he'll put you in his MySpace top 7. Or whatever it was.
Yeah. Top 7.
Oh, gosh. All right, man.
Well, thanks for doing this. Thanks for hanging out. Next week, we will be live. Special breaking news. We will be live next week from Oregon, together in the same room, doing the podcast. So we're looking forward to that next week. So
I apologize to all the neighbors wherever we might be in Oregon. It's going to be chaos.
It's going to get rowdy.
I already know. I know my family, my kids. I know your family.
Well,
we're going to have fun with it, though.
It's going to be good. Well, thanks for joining us. Check out your brackets. Send us your brackets at 3 dayold podcast at gmail.com, and get your bracket in the 3 Day Old Podcast Tournament Challenge, where the Sheet of Integrity will win. Brought to you by Thelander Leadership Consulting, where everybody needs a little TLC. Thanks for joining us. Here's to a lack of irrelevant aged news. We'll see you next week.
See ya.